Welcome back to Travel Insurance 101 CYA Worldwide. So in Gate 4, we talked about pre-existing conditions, and that's one of the most personal and misunderstood parts of travel insurance. Now in Gate 5, we're focusing on where all that language actually lives, the fine print. Hi, I'm Nicole Wright, the Zen RN, a registered professional nurse, global health coach, and medical review nurse. I reviewed claims and policies from the clinical side, and I've seen how fine print becomes very real when someone is trying to access care abroad. This content is for educational and informational purposes only and is not individual medical, legal, or insurance advice. So here's the first thing I want to normalize. Most people don't read insurance fine print because it's dense and it's overwhelming. Now, that doesn't mean you're careless. It means the documents are not designed for ease. Now, the goal is not to read every word. The goal is to know where to look and what to look for. So here's a grounded way to approach it. First, start with definitions. Insurance policies define terms very specifically. Words like emergency, medically necessary, pre-existing, stable, covered, and excluded may not mean what you assume. If you skip definitions, you miss how the entire policy operates. Second, go to exclusions early. Don't save exclusions for last. They define the boundaries of the policy, and boundaries matter more than promises. Third, watch for time-based language. Pay attention to waiting periods, stability windows, trip length limits, and coverage start and end dates. Timing is one of the most common reasons that claims are denied. Fourth, notice limiting phrases. So words like subject to, at the discretion of, as determined by, or reasonable and customary signal that coverage has conditions. They don't mean coverage doesn't exist. They do mean that it has limits. Fifth, know whether care is reimbursed or paid directly. Now, some policies require you to pay upfront and submit claims later. Others coordinate care directly. That difference matters when hospitals require payment before treatment. Sixth, confirm geographic coverage. Now, not all countries or regions are treated equally. Make sure the places you're traveling or living are clearly included. Seventh, pay attention to what's missing. If something important to you is not mentioned, such as mental health, medications, follow-up care, that silence is meaningful. One of the core principles behind the Zen RN's Healthy Expat and Digital Nomad Playbook is that clarity reduces stress. You don't need perfect understanding. You need enough understanding to make aligned decisions. So reading the fine print isn't about catching loopholes. It's about protecting access and avoiding surprises. In Gate 6, we're going to talk about emergency evacuation, what it actually means, when it's used, and why it's one of the most misunderstood parts of travel insurance.